Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here is the 2026 GMC Acadia. We'll look at the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. Okay, so now we're behind the wheel of the 26 GMC Acadia, and there was a few changes from the 25 to the 26 model year. Now, one of the big ones being there's 4 trim levels. So we've got our Elevation, AT4, a Denali, and now the Denali Ultimate. It used to be the Denali Reserve package, but now for 26, they've gone away with that and gone with the Denali Ultimate, which kind of fits with the rest of their lineup. Now, besides that, there's 2 new colors in the range. There's going to be Glacier White Tri-Coat, and then there's also a Riverstone Metallic. So those are going to be 2 new or different colors for the model year, but beyond that, it's going to be pretty much remained unchanged from the 25 year. Now, there's a lot of pretty cool third row SUVs, so it is really hard to make a decision, but I think the Acadia does some pretty cool stuff. So let's put it in drive, we'll touch on some of these cool features when we go for a spin around. Now, let's talk about what powers every one of these GMC Acadias. It's going to be a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine, and that's going to give you around 328 horsepower. The big thing is that's 326 foot-pounds of torque, so it's got lots of torque on tap, and it's available in front-wheel drive, or you can get all-wheel drive like we have here today. Both of those are going to be paired with an 8-speed automatic, so no CVTs found in the Acadia. I know that's a comment we get a lot and a lot of questions, but this is just going to be the standard 8-speed. Now let's start on the exterior of the vehicle. So this particular one, like I said, is the Elevation trim, but you wouldn't assume this is the base trim from looking at it. It gets these really cool kind of black accents that fit really nicely, I think, with this darker red exterior. The black wheels look good. It gives it kind of a tougher and sporty look, and you will find a few different grills, kind of depending on which trim level you're looking at in the Acadia. Now the footprint of this vehicle on the inside feels like a gigantic Yukon, but on the outside and the way it drives, it doesn't seem like a huge SUV. Yes, I know they can be a little clunky, a little tougher when you're kind of pushing them around, but I didn't get that at all out of the Acadia. This is just comfortable on the road. The seats are really comfortable, the ride and drive is really nice. It's kind of road construction season here still in Minnesota, so you're hitting all the stuff and all the junk in the road, and it really just kind of scoots over the top of it and isn't really too fazed by it at all. Now there is also an off-road variant, so there will be an AT4 model. So the AT4 is going to get some underbody skid plating, different wheels and tires, and just be a little bit more focused on maybe you plan on doing some camping trips or off-road running. That would be the one to look at, but this one's just going to be kind of the day-to-day warrior. Now I say that because there's a lot of equipment in this vehicle for it being the base model. Now, just a couple other little things on the exterior. This one will get those black roof rack rails up above, so if you want to run the crossbars up there, makes it kind of nice that you can put the roof box up above. Like I said, maybe you're planning on going camping, need a little bit of extra space or storage if you're hauling 7 or 8 people with you, so that is also really nice. I like the black mirror caps, the style, and the kind of aggressiveness of this vehicle. Even those really cool LED headlights that are kind of pulled, that C-shaped design from the Sierras, look really good with this redesign. Moving on to the inside of the vehicle here, we're going to have a power lift gate out back. You can do that on the key fob. You can press the button back there. Makes it really easy to load everything up. And there's actually quite a bit of room back there. I threw my camera gear in and it fit pretty easily, and even with that third row up, I'm always surprised just how much room you get out of these Acadias. There's also some underfloor storage, so if you want to keep some things out of sight, or maybe stuff that you bring with you more regularly but don't want to see, that's really nice that they give you that option there as well. Then the third row, super easy to fold down. You just pull those little straps on the back of the seat, you can kick them down, pull them back up that way, and as you work your way up through the lineup, you can actually get power folding third rows in the Denali or the Denali Ultimate, so that is pretty sweet there as well. Then there is going to be 2 different seating configurations. So there's going to be the bench seat, which would give you seating for 8, or like this one has today, you're going to have the captain's chairs. So that's going to bump it down obviously to 7 people, but the captain's chairs in here are really nice. That second row, they fold, they move, they're really easy to slide if you're getting people into that third row. It just kind of makes it pretty simplified to bring people with you or bring some stuff along. Maybe you went to IKEA, bought something you weren't planning on, you can kick one side down or the other as it's a 60-40 split. Just makes it kind of simple to haul stuff or haul people around. It really can kind of do it all. Now another thing in that second row, there's charging back there. So if you are taking a road trip, the kiddos will be happy, everything will be charged up, and those seats are also heated. So I know we're kind of getting a little closer towards winter. This comes with a remote start standard on the key fob, so you can fire the vehicle up. It'll actually kick on the front heated seats for you as well. There's lots of cool stuff you can go through in the menu and kind of adjust, but having the ability to fire it up, I think it runs for about 10 minutes, be nice and toasty, or cool it off nicely as well in the summer. So that is a pretty sweet standard feature. Okay, so moving up into the driver's seat. this is where you want to be. I love these seats. They're so comfortable. GMC always does really great seats that are meant to spend a lot of time behind the wheel, and I would have no problem hopping in here and driving the 422 miles that it says I can go. It really is nice that they're power, they're lumbar for the driver as well, and it's also a heated seat, and it's kind of a leatherette material. I've seen these, it's the same material they've been using for a while. It wears very nicely over time, and like I said, it just feels good on your hands, especially with the leather wrap steering wheel in here. The seats feel nice, and they're a lot easier to clean than maybe some of the cloth seats. But from behind the wheel, we've got a full digital gauge cluster. So there's about 4 different menus you can go through. So it'll show you kind of your pertinent information. And then you can also switch it over to see some of your Google Maps, which is really cool. I paired my phone because we've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in here. And then we've also got Google Assistant. So it's something I've started using recently, and it is such a cool feature. You can say Walser, Buick, GMC, Roseville. It's going to give me the directions right to the dealership. It pops up here in the infotainment screen as well, plus the digital gauge cluster, so I can keep my eyes on the road, where we've also got a heads-up display. So my phone has been on the wireless charger all morning, so it's nice and charged up. I've got my Google Maps, Spotify, text messaging all built into this screen, and it is a massive screen, but it really does make it safe and easy to use when you're on the go. Now, another thing that's pretty cool in here, it will show you your music you're listening to, or that adaptive cruise control. So a lot of the safety features that are standard in this, blind spot monitoring, emergency braking, the adaptive cruise system. So it'll set kind of that 3, 2, 1 distance ahead of you, keeps that distance on the road. If you haven't had that feature before, if you're driving an older GMC or another vehicle, that is such a game changer for when you're on the road for a while. I love that, and I wish every vehicle had it. There is also paddle shifters. So like I said, if you want to shift through the gears, feeling a little sporty, or there's different drive modes you can select. So there's about 5 different drive modes. It'll pop up on the screen here. And then, like I said, there's a front wheel drive option or an all-wheel drive option. But if you want to lock the all-wheel drive, you can click that button over here as well. Try to maybe get out of your driveway or something like that. Makes it pretty simple to just kind of have the usability or fine-tune your driving style. Now, let's go back again to the infotainment screen, because it's really good. I like how everything works. It is very responsive. If you click something, it goes to it. There's no lag in the screen. Once it's fired up, like I said, with the CarPlay, they probably assume most people are gonna be using that, but just the standard screen is really nice. You can pull up the climate control in here if you want to. I mean, there's even a little like swipe down or another little menu you can click, so you can quickly access some stuff. Like the camera, I'm going 35 miles an hour, and I can pull up the backup camera, the surround view camera that this comes with, so I can keep an eye on what's going on around me. Maybe the kids left something in the driveway, you're at a busy spot trying to see what's going on. That is really cool, and I love that it lets you use it while you're moving. But then below that, you can kind of change a few other little quick settings down here, and then they left a big volume knob. So obviously we've got it behind the steering wheel still to control the volume, but having the volume knob is still good. That's not a slide or any kind of haptic setting. And then your climate controls are also physical buttons down here. So it's easy for the dual zone climate control. Click auto, change the fan speed, whatever you might need to do. It's still physical, which is very helpful. Then, like I said, the wireless charging down here is awesome. Got some USB charging. The cup holders are in a great spot because you're not messing with a shifter anymore. It's kind of that new style that most manufacturers are going to, so you no longer have to clunk it into gear, frees up space here, and it also frees up space underneath the tunnel. So whether it's your purse or anything else you need to store down there, it's really nice to always have a little bit of extra storage room, whether it's the door pockets down below, the large center console here. It all works very nicely together. Okay, so we came up to a stoplight here, and you can hear the vehicle's quiet. All you can really hear is the air conditioning system, because it does have the auto stop start feature. You can turn that off. You can go through the menu and go through some of the safety stuff as well if you want to turn a few things off. But a lot of the driver assistance stuff in this vehicle I noticed isn't really intrusive. Some cars you really notice it right away, like the lane assist feature will kind of pull the steering wheel around. I didn't really get any of that out of the Acadia. GMC's got one of the best things that you can also add in, which is the Super Cruise. So if you haven't had that before, it's kind of a hands-free driving system. It could be its own video alone on how to use it all and how it all works, but just know it is an awesome feature, and it's something you can add to any one of the 4 trim levels on the Acadia. So let's touch on the pricing. Now, MSRP for the Elevation with the front wheel drive starts around $45,000. It does add a little bit more to add the all-wheel drive. Obviously, if you go up to the AT4, the Denali Ultimate, they get a little bit more expensive. But I mean, at a base price of about mid-40s, that's about $5 grand less than the average new car price in the US. But this isn't giving you base model equipment. Wireless Apple CarPlay with this huge infotainment screen, heated leatherette seats and a heated steering wheel, room for 8 people in here as well. I mean, you're getting a ton of equipment. I'm blown away when I look through the equipment list or the features list that these are offering, and at the price point you're getting out of the GMC, it really is a luxury vehicle. It drives on the road like a luxury SUV. It's quiet, it's comfortable. Fuel economy is okay. You're gonna be getting maybe low to mid 20s, depending on if you're on the all-wheel drive. A little bit better if you opt for the front-wheel drive, but this is kind of an adaptive system to help you get the best possible fuel economy, and I've seen actually pretty good returns since I've been cruising around this morning. One other thing that's really cool in here is the Bose sound system. So you can even get a better one if you go up to the Denali or Denali Ultimate trim levels, but just the standard Bose system is awesome. I had some music going earlier. Like I said, I had my Spotify going with my Apple CarPlay, and even the podcast, I couldn't believe how good it really sounds. There's a cool speaker up here and the pillars as well. It all just works really nicely. But I mean, kind of overall, I really think it's great. If you're looking for a family SUV, the third row SUV market is so competitive. Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Nissan, there's so many good SUVs out, but this almost, to me, feels like it competes more with the German SUVs, but at a budgeted price from there. You're not spending $80,000 to get maybe the leather seats, all the infotainment screen stuff, and all the safety features. This is still a comfortable, nice place to be every day, works for road trips, works for running around town. I think this GMC Acadia, especially in the Elevation trim for the money, is absolutely one to add to your list. Come out, take for a spin, and see what you think. Now that was just a quick look and drive at the 2026 GMC Acadia. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.